Innovations with you, which means we may talk about future-looking products and services. Because future-looking statements are inherently subject to risk and uncertainty, our reminder is that you should make any purchasing or investment decisions based on products that are currently commercially available.
Okay, so I'm a big coffee drinker. I also have a dog named Parker. I love learning new things. I love practicing. I think that goes back to my musical roots. Boston Scientific is a global medical devices company, and we help make new scientific discoveries through medical devices that help improve patients' lives. I believe that technology has the ability to transform our quality of life, especially for the world's most vulnerable people. What I value and love about the Salesforce platform is that it's accessible to everyone. You don't need to feel like just because you didn't finish college or just because you studied music like me, that you can't achieve whatever you want to inside this ecosystem.
I see Susana as a person who pays attention to your needs, to your thoughts, and she is able to convert, those ideas into something real.
So I started out as a Salesforce admin. I started to dip my toes into a little bit of development. A year ago, there were only around 250 certified technical architects in the world. And out of those 250 people, roughly only 5% were women. I thought, are you kidding? There's only this many women who have done this thing.
Susanna's an architect at Boston Scientific, and she is amazing at really taking requirements that we gather from our business partners and puts it into the Salesforce technology. The Salesforce technology can then adapt to what we need.
With the app that Susanna developed, we were able to go down from 2 weeks to almost 1 day.
The amount of time saved across 5,000 sales reps can be redirected to create a new life-saving device, and that's incredible.
I'm Susanna St. Germain, and I'm a trailblazer.
Please welcome to the stage SVP and GM of Global Healthcare and Life Sciences, Dr. Ash Zanuz.
Imagine a 75-year-old man wakes up with chest pain, and he's taken to the emergency room by ambulance. As he is wheeled in, chaos ensues. He is met by a triage nurse who asks him for his name, his age, location of his pain, and other information to quickly assess him. The registration clerk is hovering in the background with her clipboard, trying to get his name, his age, and his insurance information. A little bit later, more importantly, the doctor tries to get more information from him to assess him for a heart attack. The patient is in distress, and he's in discomfort, but he diligently tries to remember and recite all of his 13 medications, his drug allergies, and other information that he thinks is relevant so that the doctor could figure things out. The thing is, he had just gone over a lot of this information in the back of the ambulance with his EMT. In fact, he had actually reviewed this information many times with other doctors that he had seen over the last 2 weeks. This was my father's experience just 3 months ago with healthcare. And I am pretty sure that most of you in this room could tell a similar story or know someone who can. Isn't it frustrating when you think about the healthcare experience and you compare it with other industries? It's almost 2020, and Teslas are practically driving themselves. But your doctors are sharing information with each other and communicating with each other using fax machines. When are we going to stop using fax machines? I think our industry supports the fax machine business. Imagine a different reality, one where you had all of your health and wellness information in one place, and you could share it with any provider of your choice, where your insurance companies were using advanced machine learning algorithms to predict your needs and proactively reaching out to you. Life sciences companies were using your data with your consent and bringing you personalized and targeted therapies. This is possible. All of you in this room and those of you that are tuning in from around the world are going to make this happen. Trailblazers like Susanna, who bring their energy and passion to work every single day, are going to make this happen. Thank you, Susanna. Look. Thank you. This is why I joined Salesforce a year ago, to help make this vision a reality. My name is Ashwini Zanuz. I am a physician. I am a practicing physician. And I lead the global healthcare life sciences industries team here at Salesforce. Welcome to this year's keynote. I am so thrilled you're here today. There we go. Really thrilled to have you here today. We would not be successful in growing without you, our customers, our partners. Our success is because we work with some of the most innovative companies in the world today. Companies like Hospital for Special Surgery, Clover Health, AstraZeneca, Servier, and so many more who are working with us to bring personalized experiences to their constituents. We are so fortunate to work with some of these innovative companies who put their mission of driving healthcare forward first. Some of you are working on creating new therapies, new medical devices, and some of you are busy taking care of the millions of patients and members. But all of you, all of us, are here because we are on an important mission to drive healthcare forward. One such organization that is near and dear to me is CARE. CARE is a global organization. It has presence in 95 countries and has over 965 healthcare programs and impacts 56 million lives around the world. Their overall mission is to eliminate poverty and to save lives. Isn't that incredible? What a noble mission. Let's give a round of applause for CARE. Let's take a step back. Our industry has come a really long way in the last 50 years. The 70s brought us the invention of MRI and CT. And today, we are talking about AI-enabled radiology. Just think of the pace of acceleration just in the last 5 years. I'd be willing to bet you that in the next 10 years, this industry is going to look very, very different. Don't you think so? I think so. But we've got to deal with a couple of things before we get there. Some big industry trends. Aging populations, evolving regulatory framework, value-based pricing models, and dare I say it, interoperability. Yes, we have to address that one. These are global trends, and all of you are working with us to prepare for the future. At Salesforce, We think of this framework when we think of digital transformation. Some of you are optimizing your existing business, and some of you are putting your customers at the center. And there are some of you that are driving large-scale transformation, where you're trying to create value in new ways for your consumers, your patients, your members. But wherever you are on your journey, we want to partner with you. We want to help you get there. We want to provide you a unified platform that brings together the best of our products, industry expertise, and our ecosystem of partners to provide you industry-specific solutions to meet your needs. We're so excited to show some of those today. We're going to hear from the Health Cloud team, where they're going to show you their latest innovations. We're going to hear from two trailblazing organizations, Johnson & Johnson and NYU Health, that are using the Salesforce platform as the foundation for collaboration and engagement. And then we're going to wrap it up before we go to Fleetwood Mac with Deloitte, where we're going to get some insights. Deloitte has been a part of thousands of transformation journeys with many organizations, and we're going to get some insights from them. So to get us started, please welcome Amit Khanna, VP of Health Cloud Product Management.
Thank you, Dr. Ash. Thank you. We all have struggled and failed to navigate the complex and highly siloed healthcare system. As an immigrant, my family has experienced this in 2 distinct countries. Personally, I experienced how difficult it is to get access to right care and also its lack of customer centricity. As a son, I saw my dad, who suffered from a cardiac arrest, wait 72 hours to get his first MRI done. And the reason? The care team did not know that the device in his heart has an MRI-compatible mode. Just like Dr. Ash's dad, he was going to the same care team for the last 2 years, but they did not have that information at the right time about him. I strongly believe that technology today can enable each one of us across the entire health and life sciences ecosystem to deliver connected, holistic, and personalized care. Health Cloud was launched in 2016. Today, it is its 12th release, delivering innovation 3 times a year, every year. Health Cloud is built on Customer 360-degree platform. It provides those applications and services that provides value to each and every segment of health and life sciences business to bring that customer centricity and patient-driven consumer experiences. Health Cloud transforms and evolves each and every customer to bring their customers to the center of their business process. Whichever segment of health and life sciences business you are in, Health Cloud delivers the promise of improved outcomes, reduced costs, and improved patient experiences. Whether you're a pharma company, you can connect with your patients at the point of care. Whether you're med device companies, you can connect with your sales teams and get that insights right from the market. If you are a payer, you can use our latest provider relationship management to onboard the providers faster and collaborate with them. And finally, if you're a provider, you can understand the care that is offered to that patient, like my dad, across the entire organization, and determine those social factors that determine outcome at the end of the day. I'm super happy today to announce 2 new innovations in Health Cloud, focused primarily on life sciences customers. For pharma companies, we bring patient services program that allows you to have that streamlined enrollment of patients in care programs. And for med device companies, we bring intelligent sales that allows you to understand your sales team and also surface those insights from your commercial plans through our sales agreements and account-based forecasting. To show you all the latest innovation, let me welcome someone on our team who has been with us and in the healthcare space for the last 15 years. And we are super happy for him to be on our team. Let's welcome Donna Wolff, Director of Product Marketing, Health Cloud. How are you? Good.
Thanks so much. You and I have spent a lot of time getting ready for this presentation talking about patient engagement and the benefits to organizations when they place the healthcare consumer at the center of their business. I saw this firsthand at the last company I was at. We were truly patient-centric, but only able to do this under two conditions. First, we treated only catastrophic injuries, 1% of all claims in this country. And two, we had to do everything manually. That's very limiting. I joined Salesforce because I saw how a patient engagement platform could extend the benefits of patient centricity to everyone. Health Cloud is the path for personalization and collaboration at scale. To give you an example of what I mean by this, let's talk about a patient support program at McConna Pharma, a fictional pharmaceutical organization. I'd like you to meet Paula. She's a patient with multiple sclerosis, and she needs to enroll in this program to get education about how to take her medication and receive financial support so that she can adhere to the plan long term. Then we'll go behind the scenes and meet Jack. He's her patient services liaison, and we'll see how he enrolls her into the process to get her the help that she needs. But before we start, Amit, we need to give a big shout out to Aaron and CG who are driving our live demo today. Thank you so much, guys. They put in a ton of work. Thank you.
As you said, Donna, Paula suffers from multiple sclerosis. During her visit to her physician recommended a new medication. During their discussion, he found out that Paula cannot financially afford that medication. Before even leaving the care facility, Paula downloads mobile app from McConna Pharma. She shows her interest in the MS Care program, sets up an account, and signs into the patient community app from McConna Pharma. Next, she fills eligibility questionnaire. Important, we remember Paula has multiple sclerosis. She wants to fill this application at the convenience of her home because of her condition. She goes ahead and fills the enrollment form, and also, most importantly, provides her communication preferences with date and time when she can be reached at.
She's also able to complete all the necessary consent forms, allowing McConna Pharma access to her personal health information. And on the same HIPAA-compliant app, she can e-sign the documentation and submit everything directly to McConna Pharma right from her phone. Now, by digitizing the enrollment process, McConna Pharma has offered Paula a consumer-like experience. And that's convenience that we all want in our lives. But for those with advanced chronic conditions like multiple sclerosis, this reduction in time to therapy makes a significant difference for Paula's health. Back at McConna Pharma, Jack has hundreds of patients to screen and enroll for the patient support program. And before Health Cloud, he would have had to spend time on the phone just trying to reach them because he wouldn't have known their communication preferences. But that's changed.
Today, with Health Cloud, Jack directly gets the queue of all the tasks that have been submitted through that McConna Pharma app by patients like Paula. Today, he sees a new task to enroll Paula in one of the care programs. He opens Paula's application, understands all the conditions she's in, and identifies that there are few care programs she might be eligible for. Because Paula had filled her communication preferences, Jack knows when to call her and what's the right channel. Jack picks up the phone and calls Paula. During their discussions, they finally identify which is the right care program among a set of care programs and goes on to make sure that he selects the right information and puts it in that program. For care programs, it's very normal to select the right product So he selects the right product for Paula, goes ahead and selects the right provider where she can go to get those services, and goes on to complete the enrollment process in few simple steps.
Because everything was digitized and automatically submitted electronically directly to Jack's queue, he no longer has to worry about looking for any missed paperwork. That makes him and the entire patient support program more efficient. Now let's talk about Paula's health insurer. Meet Melinda. She's Paula's care coordinator, and she's going to help Paula by providing a remote monitoring device so that she can look for adverse events. It's going to be in the form of a connected glucose monitor, and that's important for Paula, as people with MS, swings in their blood sugar can indicate or contribute to their fatigue. Then we'll see how this process enables Paula to get the right information at the right time. Let's see how remote monitoring works.
So Paula downloads an app from Langone Health. But before that, as Donna mentioned, Paula got a device, glucose monitor, to monitor her glucose level, which via Bluetooth can connect to Apple Health Kit. Paula then downloads a mobile app and connects to Health Cloud through Apple Health Kit. She then follows the steps to set up Apple Health Kit to the mobile device and granularly controls what information she would like to share, like blood glucose, blood fat percentage, and body mass index. Once Apple Health Kit is connected, her care team not only has device information, which you normally see from your Apple Watches, but in context of the care plan, in context of her medication, in context of the journey she is in. That's what this brings. Let's now pivot back to Paula.
Not only can Paula's health insurers access all this data from a single console, but they're also able to configure Health Cloud to screen the data that they're receiving in ways that are specific to Paula's condition and member profile. Then they're able to automatically send her proactive guidance, in this case in the form of a text message, that place her data in context and recommend next steps so that she can maintain her health. This is the way that Salesforce is helping healthcare and life sciences organizations deliver more personalized, collaborative, and connected care at scale. To tell us more about this, I'd like to introduce our head of industry clouds and Oklahoma boy made good, Rob Seaman.
Since I'm from Oklahoma, I can claim that English is a second language, so bear with me here. So as part of my job, I get the opportunity to speak to multinational banks. I get the opportunity to speak to small regional credit unions. I get to talk to large multinational pharma companies and even small regional accountable care organizations. And you may think you're very different across those four types of companies, but I hear three things consistently. One, how can we continually innovate given we're now at scale like Salesforce does? Two, how can we accelerate the digital transformation of our business? And three, how can we achieve personalization at scale? Those are three big, hairy, audacious things that we hear from our customers. But if you look at the beauty of the HLS ecosystem, if we do those things, if we innovate, if we digitally transform, if we personalize experiences at scale for our customers, we have an opportunity that is profound, like no other industry. We can save lives. We can improve care. We can take costs out of what is one of the most inefficient systems in the global economy. And that may seem daunting. It may seem hard. It may actually seem easier to go start your own company. A lot of people around here do that. There was actually $11.3 billion in venture capital that flowed, I guess, into the health technology space in 2018. And we're on pace to eclipse that in 2019. So you may think, is it even worth it for me as a big company to attempt that? I think it's incumbent on us as big companies to attempt that. And I think a great example of a company that's doing that at scale is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is in the Fortune 50. They operate across pharma, med device, and consumer packaged goods. They actually touch 1 billion people a day. They touch 1 billion people a day across 170 countries. There's only 195 countries in this world. Their footprint is massive. and they are trying to change the trajectory of healthcare for humanity. They also have 135,000 employees. Not only are they trying to change the trajectory of healthcare for humanity, they're actually trying to build the healthiest workforce in the world. And we're using Salesforce to do both of those things. And they're seeing success across the board. As they've been executing this evolution strategy, they've seen improvement across various business units. In their med device division, they're managing over $1 billion worth of trunk stock inventory from their sales reps. In the Janssen Pharma business, they've been able to take 16 systems and consolidate it down into one efficient system. So to talk to me a bit more about Johnson & Johnson and what they've been able to achieve, please welcome Tom Weck. Thank you, Tom.
Hey, Rob. How are you doing?
Good. So Johnson & Johnson is led by their corporate credo. Has anybody in the room read the Johnson & Johnson corporate credo? It's an amazing...
Lots of people over there.
There you go. It's an amazing document. I encourage you to read it before you go see Beck. It is actually, it's like the Constitution. It stood the test of time. It's lasted 133 years. It's only been amended 3 times. And you guys use that as your North Star, if you will, to engage patients and consumers, correct?
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Now, how do you actually achieve, like, as I said earlier, digital transformation at the scale of a company like yours is just a gnarly thing. Like, how do you guys even approach the problem?
Yeah, so I think it really starts with what we think our first responsibility is, which is a responsibility to patients, to people like everybody that's sitting out in the audience here today. We want to make sure that every person on the planet has the best access to healthcare and products that allow you to live healthier, happier, longer lives. And so with that mission comes a great responsibility. And I think traditionally, if you look at traditional models, we talked about fax a while ago, we want to experience healthcare differently now. And it's no longer good enough for us to be able to create high-quality products and then package them with great marketing and expect that we're going to be successful in the marketplace, because that's not what patients want, that's not what you want. So we have to figure out ways to engage people and professionals in a deeper conversation and a deeper relationship throughout their entire life cycle, from the time that they're born until the time that they're passing on.
Transitioning. Can you talk a bit about how you're actually making those deeper interactions happen, either using technology or process, what it might be?
Yeah, so sure. I mean, essentially what we're doing is we're working very closely with the professionals and patients, but I think primarily with patients first, to make sure that we're creating digital products for them to be able to engage with our products, our physical products. So you've got a combination of a digital asset that pairs up with a physical product. And we're spending a lot more time thinking and using digital channels to be able to engage deeply with patients and professionals, because both are really important in that ecosystem of health.
Well, now that you mention that, you guys don't just care about patients. Like in many cases, you have to engage providers. And I think you're responsible for the vision business. Can you talk a bit about vision and what you're doing there?
Yeah, so in our vision business, we have 2 sides to it. We have the consumer side of vision, which is primarily the contact lens business that we own. And then we have a surgical side of the business. So if we talk about the consumer side for a moment, it's really important to us from a professional standpoint that we engage the professionals in that relationship with the patient. Because if you think about it, I don't know how many people wear contact lenses. I wear contact lenses every single day, and I feel like I walk around without a visual deficiency. And the reason I walk around without feeling like I have a visual deficiency is because, yes, it's a great product. I believe it's a great product. But it's fitted by a professional to my specific eye dimensions and requirements. So making sure that professionals are at the center of that relationship with our product to make sure that people get the best fit, they're going to have a fantastic experience. If they get a poor fit, they're going to have a poor experience, and then they're probably going to drop out of the contact lens market. So we need to make sure that professionals are engaged in that market with the patient as well. So it's kind of a closed-loop ecosystem, if you will, that we're creating.
Can you talk a bit about how Salesforce is involved in that triumvirate?
Yeah, so we're building solutions, digital solutions that engage both the professional and the patient in markets around the world. that create different capabilities in service of the professional, but also in service of the patient. So professional locator services or loyalty programs or things like that that actually engage the professional and the patient in a relationship together, as well as with Johnson & Johnson. So that's, and around the world. So it's really important for us to be able to engage in that way and to do it around the world in all the different markets that we participate in. And that's not an easy thing, because those different markets have different regulatory requirements. They have different go-to-market models. It's very complicated. So having a platform that allows us technologically to be able to take something, build a market model around it, and then scale that around the world is fundamentally important to our business.
That's great to hear. Can you talk a bit about the return you've been able to see?
Yeah, so in specific markets where we've been doubling down on this digital investment, we've seen a 5 times or 5 times the conversion rate from fitting to purchase. So that's the time when somebody receives a contact lens, gets fitted for it, and the time that they buy an annual subscription. And 5 times, that's massive for us.
Yeah. It's huge across any industry. So
we just have to scale that now.
Okay. We've got a little bit of time left here. So if you had to, illustrate one challenge or insight, if you will, for these people when they go home, what would it be?
Sure. I think it's around really, if you think about this digital world that we're in today, you have to understand the details of the digital business model that you're implementing. It's easy to say, create a digital twin around these physical products that you had. A couple of years ago, I was at Gartner, and they were telling me, everybody has to have a digital twin for their traditional business. And I'm thinking, well, what website do I go to download my digital twin? I don't have a twin brother, and I don't have those things. So it's not that easy. You actually have to create that, and coming up with that business model is important. And the details of that business model are really important. So that's the recommendation that I have. But those details go to things like what's a loyalty point worth if you're putting in a loyalty program, because if you don't know what a loyalty point is worth, as soon as you launch it to customers around the world, they know exactly what a loyalty point is worth. I know exactly what a loyalty point is worth at Starbucks. So I know that our customers are going to figure that out really rapidly. And what it's worth to people in different markets means different things. It's very different in Japan than what it is in the United States. So figuring that out on a regional basis, and then being able to put a scalable technology platform behind that, like Salesforce, that is really the cornerstone of our digital platforms in this world, is super important to be able to get to that scale and to be able to do it rapidly.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. Everybody, please join me in thanking J&J.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. So one of the 3 things that you guys talk to us a lot about is achieving personalization at scale. You saw Brett stand on stage yesterday, I think, and show how we can generate beautiful imagery for a Louis Vuitton bag. Like, there is no industry, it drives me nuts. I spent the last 6 years in personalization. There is no industry where personalization could be more impactful than HLS, and we're not doing it. Like, if you look at what patients want, patients actually want personalized access to care. They want to get in, for that particular condition that they have right now, that particular acute situation, that particular episode. Like, I don't care about your problems. I don't care about your systems. I want to get in and see the right person as soon as I possibly can with the best experience possible. On the provider side of the house, we actually see providers wanting to provide that personalized access to care. And we really, truly believe that Health Cloud has the opportunity to be that personalized patient access solution. So to walk us through that, please welcome Katie Wu.
Thanks, Rob. Hello, Dreamforce. Did you know that the average person spends 43 days on hold over a lifetime? Think about what you can do with those 6 weeks. Today, we're going to show you how provider organizations are using Salesforce to streamline that patient contact center experience, drive care team efficiencies, and empower patients to participate in their own health. Let's meet our patient today. Mary is a 58-year-old diabetic patient, and she's based in Chicago. She's part of Makana Health, which is a fictitious health system, and she recently moved to the suburbs and has been delaying her search looking for a new primary care physician. Her son, Georgie, checks in on her, and she shares that she's been feeling a little bit weak and tired, so it's time for her to make an appointment. We know people today value convenience, and Makana Health makes it easier than ever for patients to log in, schedule an appointment, ask questions, and access educational resources. However, we know people like to pick up the phone, and that's exactly what Mary's going to do today. So who's on the other end of the line? Let's say hello to Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Katie.
Jen is one of Makana Health's incredible call center agents. Using Salesforce, Omnichannel automatically routes inquiries to the right agent based on skills, availability, as well as the channels they serve. And Jen's going to help Mary get set up today. Jen can verify Mary's identity, and she can do this with a phone number, date of birth, zip code, as well as the last 4 digits of her social security number. Here, she has a complete view of Mary's information. She can see details such as preferences, past appointments, and she has everything she needs in one place to instantly build rapport and develop long-term loyalty. Using provider search, she can look for a new provider in Mary's new address. She can do this by specialty, subspecialty, as well as distance. And here we see that Samantha, Dr. Samantha, is the best option for her, so Jen's going to go ahead and get her scheduled.
Hey, Katie. Einstein's telling me there's a 68% chance Mary won't make it to that appointment.
And this is super important to Makana Health, as no-shows cost the US healthcare system $150 billion a year.
Einstein uses historical data to predict future behavior. This includes Mary's previously missed appointments, as well as transportation issues identified through social determinants of health. But I can use recommended actions to influence the best outcome for Mary. So I'm going to include this Lyft rideshare in Mary's appointment confirmation. Einstein's always looking out for me, ensuring I make the most of my time with patients.
That's amazing. Jen was able to optimize her interaction with Mary, schedule her for an appointment, and encourage her to schedule a Lyft ride, all on the Salesforce platform. So let's fast forward to after the appointment. Mary made it. She's feeling a lot better now. And at her appointment, she was issued a new glucometer, as well as assigned a new diabetes educator, Carla. So let's take a look from Carla's perspective. Each console is tailored to its respective user and is served by the same underlying platform. So this means that Jen, Carla, or anyone else with the proper permissions can view that rich interaction data that Mary has had with Makana Health. So when Carla logs into Health Cloud, this is her Today page, her one-stop shop for patient management activities. At the top, she can see the number of patients she's responsible for, and at the bottom, she can see any open or outstanding tasks. On the right-hand side, this is her collaboration panel, where she can communicate with other members of the care team, as well as see new notifications. And here, she can see that she has been assigned a new patient, Mary, but before she takes any action, she wants to dive a little deeper. So let's go into Mary's profile. You'll notice that's a similar view to what Jen saw in the call center, but Carla has more clinical access. So this means she can see information such as medications, immunizations, as well as allergies. And this is brought in by an EHR integration powered by MuleSoft. On the right-hand side, Carla can view Mary's health timeline, a chronological view where she can track points of engagement, both clinically and non-clinically. And with care plan templates directly in Health Cloud, Carla can easily augment Mary's plan of care. So this means she can add specific tasks, goals, and today she's going to add a new task for her to set up her new glucometer. Once Jen does this, the entire care team is notified, so we can all keep Mary accountable for her care. So let's pivot and come back to Mary. She receives a notification that she has training waiting for her, and this is the same app we saw earlier, where she can schedule an appointment, review educational resources, and today she's going to take a look at the amazing content that we've sent her. She can complete certain tasks, look at the instructions, and at the end, she can mark complete, She's awarded this nice, shiny badge saying, "Congratulations, way to go." Mary, her caregivers, and the entire care team is notified so we can all keep track of Mary's health goals and make sure and empower her to participate in her own health. Today, we've shown you how provider organizations are using Salesforce to personalize that contact center experience, driving collaboration across the care team, and engaging patients across their entire care journey, and it's all powered by the Salesforce platform. Dr. Ash, back to you.
Thanks, Katie and Jen. Okay, so next, we're going to hear from one of the nation's premier academic medical centers. NYU Langone is located in the heart of Manhattan. Last year, they opened a state-of-the-art patient access center where they streamlined and optimized the way that their call center agents interact with their patients. Do you know that they get upwards of 2.2 million calls every year? And with the changes they made, they were able to save 1 minute per call. 1 minute. Does that seem like a lot? Nah. That's 2.2 million minutes that they save every year, which translates to 17.5 full-time employee man-hours that they are now using towards more focused patient conversations. To tell us more about this, please welcome Nader Merabi. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Ash, and great to be here with the healthcare and the life science colleagues.
Thank you so much for coming. So tell us a little bit. We traditionally hear, health centers, they're a little bit slow to move, they're not making a whole lot of changes, but it seems like NYU has taken a lot of strides here. So tell us how your journey.
So let me put a context here. At NYU Langone Health, we're very passionate about patients' digital experience, and it's a journey. We continue improving that. Now, patient and consumer picks us because of our excellent care and our world-class clinicians. But when they really want to connect with us and when they need us, we are really either one Google search or one app download or one call away because we want it to be convenience for them. Now, we are very fan of platforms. We really value platforms. And so we standardize on Salesforce Health Cloud as our CRM, and also be standardizing on their marketing clouds for our patient outreach and consumer outreach. And then connecting that, integrating that with our EHR, which is Epic, and other technologies really creates what we think value and scale that we demonstrated through this example that I can tell you how we did it. And that was really taking really digitizing our call center and automating in a way that is really makes our agent efficient and really helps the patient and their family when they call in. What this is really an integration of our Salesforce Cloud with Cisco phone switch technology in our EHR, and powered underneath integrated through MuleSoft. And that really allows us to be efficient and save 1 minute, and hopefully do more, in calls. And that really translates to really good satisfaction and also real ROI.
How long did it take you to get this done on the Salesforce platform?
Well, it was a teamwork, right, between Salesforce, our integration partner, Deloitte, our faculty group practice operations, and IT. So we had to work together several months that it took to make this a reality. And then but we scaled it very fast, and that was important to make all our agents uses that today, and we continue to improving that.
Thank you so much. So, we've got a lot of different types of organizations here in the audience. You've obviously done a large-scale transformation here. Tell us, if you had one insight to leave them with, what would you say?
Well, when you're aligning everything, a digital journey is not easy, especially if you're in healthcare and life sciences, where we've been around for a very long time. So when you're aligning and you get the buy-in, when you get it working, scale it very fast. because that's where you show value and ROI. It's not good when you're going to run in a silo. So my advice is speed up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please give him a warm welcome. Thank you so much. So next, we're going to hear from Deloitte. Like I said, they've helped through a lot of transformation journeys. So please welcome Chris Zant. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Chris, in our conversations, you said, the industry is going to have some radical disruption coming. And Deloitte always talks about what is coming down the pipeline. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're forecasting in the next 10 to 20 years for the different sectors of our industry?
We've heard about some of it, and we've talked a lot about things like interoperability and the needs to share data, and I think we've seen some great examples of it. What we really need to achieve is true radical interoperability and ability to take data and share it and move it as a patient, as a consumer, and as a healthcare recipient. I think we've also talked a little bit about personalization and where we see consumerization coming into healthcare. We need to interact with our healthcare the way we interact with the rest of our lives and be able to navigate a healthcare journey the same way we navigate a consumer journey. One we didn't talk about much is, I think, the transformation of our industry into a mixed industry of healthcare experts as well as data analytics and technology experts. Native companies that are not from healthcare but are from technology are going to start disrupting our industry. And if we don't react and plan and think about different ways to accommodate those types of technologies, we're going to be disrupted ourselves.
That's really, it's great insight. So, obviously you're helping a lot of companies through these types of changes. Where do you see them spending their time versus where do you think they should be spending their time?
I think we're spending time on important things, but I think we're spending a lot of that time tactically on important things. So we're adding digital connectivity to existing therapy regimes. We're creating mobile applications or digital engagement models for patients. I think what we need to really think about and how we choose to spend our time is thinking about the more strategic long-term play for those things. So how do we create the infrastructure that can support true engagement with patients? How do we enable that infrastructure so that patients can get care where they need it? Care near home, care in different and distributed ways. And how do we really build an interoperable ecosystem where we can share the results of that care journey? So my visit to a local clinic can be shared immediately with my physician and then back into the hospital network and the biopharmaceutical company that's going to help cure my disease.
Thank you so much. So please thank Chris for joining us. Thanks for the time up here. So we've talked about a lot of stuff today. We've talked about digital transformation. We've talked about industry trends. We've seen some pretty cool innovation from our Health Cloud product team. We've heard from 3 organizations, trailblazers in our industry. We heard from Tom from Johnson & Johnson, who talked about empowering the teams that are closest to the customers, give them the right tools, give them the right technology so that they can do their job better. We heard from Nader from NYU, where they prioritized and led large-scale transformation and did it fast, capitalized on the momentum, and chose not to make incremental changes. Chris just talked to us about about what's coming, what he's forecasting, and that healthcare and life sciences companies and technology companies really need to partner together so that they can meet the changing markets that are coming. I'm glad you guys are all here. I'm going to take a quick step back to where I started. As a physician, I always put patients front and center. It's no different now that I'm here at Salesforce. And I know that's what matters to all of you. The late Bernard Tyson, who was the former CEO of Kaiser Permanente, he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, don't ask for permission to make the lives of people to improve the lives of people that you pledged to serve. Instead, march through the doors of red tape, make bold moves, and usher in progress and bring in change for everybody. That's what we're here to do. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for joining us. But before you go, please don't forget to visit the lodge, Please visit CARE, the organization. It is a really good cause. Every time you go and get involved in an activity, Salesforce will contribute on your behalf to the organization. So please take a moment, change someone's life out there, and participate. Don't forget to go to the campground, get some hands-on experience with the products, talk to some product experts, and last but not least, check out the solutions online. Have a great time at Dreamforce. Enjoy Fleetwood Mac, and see you all out there.